What's up, everyone? Donut here, and welcome to another edition of Donut's Leo Recap, where we look at some of the more interesting, controversial, or just all-around nutty police stories that happened within the past week or so. For today's Leo Recap, we have quite a few videos that are pretty nutty. So up until recently, Portland, Oregon EMTs have been wearing riot gear alongside police to quickly assist officers and civilians with injuries resulting from all the temper tantrums being thrown. That is until people started complaining to the police about this. Specifically, one nut job who attended a city council meeting recently and explained to the city council how Portland EMTs should not be embedded with police officers. Here are just a few clips of the meeting that he had with the city council and some of his reasoning behind not letting EMTs roll around with police.
Today, you can still be gassed indiscriminately by a riot police in a crowd. An EMT can come up to you in riot gear wearing pepper spray canisters to treat your burn injuries. The savior appears as the abuser, the batterer's twin, the same liquor on their breath, so to speak. We've seen EMTs wearing Blue Lives Matter patches to Black Lives marches. The social science is clear. Riot gear causes escalation and sparks violence. We do not say this to shame our EMTs. We say this to shame the lack of accountability around militarized policing. Work with us to keep Portland safe. Demilitarize emergency care. There's no time to list all the failures. EMTs should not wear riot gear. That's not neutral, and they should not wear Blue Lives Matter badges.
Thank you very much.
So it's expected for some nutty person to come into the Portland Council meetings. I mean, it's Portland after all. But the thing about this one is the fire chief for Portland actually caved into this, and now they're going back to the old way of EMTs being staged at riots, with the EMTs being a few blocks away and having to respond. Originally, the EMTs were staged a few blocks away, but the protesters and rioters started complaining about that because it was taking the EMTs too long to get to them. But now the protesters and rioters are complaining that the EMTs shouldn't be embedded with the police right there to help them out. The guy at the city council meeting goes on to say that, hey, I saw these EMTs wearing Blue Lives Matter patches. They shouldn't be doing that. Portland fire chief said, oh, you're right. We shouldn't be picking sides in this. It makes us look bad. The only thing is, it's not a Blue Lives Matter patch. The patch that the nut job at the city council meeting is pointing out is actually just an American first responder patch. It has nothing to do with Blue Lives. I just can't believe that the fire chief made the ultimate decision to pull EMTs out of the riot police on the front lines. You know what? I take that back. It's Portland. There's a lot of shit I've seen there that I would never thought could happen. Video was released from the Fayetteville, Arkansas Police Department showing the Oklahoma Sooners quarterback, Baker Mayfield, getting a little lippy with police after he got drunk and made a disturbance and then tried to run off from them.
All right. Okay, I'm done. Okay. I've been standing here listening to it. I'm finished with it. Keep going. I'm done. Thank you. Go ahead. Step up in front of the gun. Oh my God! Oh my God! I'm done! I'm done! Are you kidding me? I'm done! I didn't. Put your hands behind your back. I didn't say anything. Put your hands behind your back. Oh my God! I didn't say anything. Put your hands behind your back. It's behind my back.
I don't know what kind of half-ass attempt that was at jogging away from police officers or what the hell he was thinking, but it was handled quickly.
Oh my God!
Oh, and he ended up crying like a baby about the whole thing.
All right, man. I'm gonna roll you up on your butt, okay? Sit up.
Video has been released of an incident that happened in Orange, California earlier this week where an Orange officer attempted to pull a van over for some minor traffic violations. The driver inside of the van pulled out a rag, a cigarette, a lighter, and some gasoline and threatened to blow himself up. He continued to threaten officers with the gasoline and lighter until the officers brought a fire truck over, broke some of the windows out, and tried to flush the man out with the hose. It was an awesome plan. It worked perfectly until the guy jumped out of the van with a knife and he was shot and killed by police. A really crazy ass video from Seattle, Washington came out this week that shows a driver in a Nissan Xterra plowing right through a gas pump. The driver suffered minor injuries, but after police obtained a warrant to get a blood draw, it was determined that they were drunk and they were arrested for DUI. A Rockford, Illinois bank robber had a few holes punched in him by a retired sheriff's deputy turned security guard at a bank. The incident happened in January, but the footage was just released this week after it was determined that no charges will be brought against the guard. The robber walked into the bank, put a shot into the ceiling. The deputy reacted by putting a few shots into the robber. The robber did some action movie roll on the ground, tried to run out the door, and that's when the deputy pushed the off button on him. It turns out that the bank robber was linked to a few other bank robberies where they didn't happen to have an old salty-ass sheriff deputy on guard. I don't know if you guys remember the case from last November in Florida where a deputy tried to pull a guy over that nearly ran him over on a traffic stop. When he pulled him over, the guy tackled the deputy to the ground and began viciously beating him. He straddled him and was just wailing on him. And then a brave bystander showed up, told the guy to get off the deputy. The guy wouldn't get off the deputy, so the brave bystander shot the guy 3 times. Well, the video for that incident was just released.
He just shot, dude! Oh my god! Oh my god, he just shot him! Oh my god!
Is that the cop on the bottom?
Edward Strother pinned Deputy Dean Bartz to the ground after Bartz chased the suspect several miles on I-75. Drivers pulled over to see it unfold, but it was this man in the blue shirt who stopped the attack.
He just has a gun. Oh my god, he's about to fire.
He took 3 shots.
Oh! Oh!
All 3 bullets hitting Edward Strother. Then within moments, Ashad Russell dropped his weapon and walked away.
Concealed carry permit holder Ashad Russell fired 3 shots, stopping the man from attacking the deputy. Ashad, you're a freaking hero, dude. You may remember a few months ago where an Orlando criminal named Markeith Lloyd killed his pregnant ex-girlfriend. Then he executed police officer Deborah Clayton. And then Orange County Deputy Norman Lewis was killed in a traffic collision while setting up the perimeter to find Markeith. Earlier this week, State Attorney Aramis Ayala decided that she was not going to seek the death penalty for Lloyd.
It is my responsibility to make a determination of whether or not this is justice for this community, not in individual cases.
So he kills his pregnant ex-girlfriend, executes a police officer on security footage, stood over her and shot at her limp body, making sure she was dead. And then another deputy died trying to respond to that, and she's trying not to seek the death penalty. Fortunately enough for Florida, they have a badass governor named Rick Scott who shut that shit down really quick. Governor Scott asked State Attorney Ayala to recuse herself from the case. She refused to, so he used his executive power to just kick her off of it. Governor Scott made the statement that she had made it clear that she would not fight for justice. Thank you, Governor Scott, for actually pursuing justice and not letting this clown have the case. News choppers captured a pretty crazy chase in Phoenix, Arizona between a yellow Corvette and police officers the other day. A homicide suspect had stolen a truck, ran from a DPS trooper, ended up hijacking this yellow Corvette in the middle of the chase. He pointed a gun at the driver and took his yellow Corvette and went on a little joyride.
Again, that is the yellow car you see there. That's the stolen vehicle. This guy robbed the driver at gunpoint, stole his car, and he's driving recklessly here now through the streets of Phoenix, Arizona. Police on the scene chasing him now, but wow, take a look at that. He's driving extremely recklessly here. Come on, I mean, you're on the wrong side of the road, dude. You've got to be more careful than this. I mean, look at this.
It's a very dangerous situation there in the North Valley, a very dangerous situation.
I mean, we already know this guy's dangerous. He robbed a victim at gunpoint, stole this Corvette, and he's on the run.
Right.
The chase went on for a little bit until 2 officers in an unmarked police vehicle decided that that chase was over. Some reports are saying that shots were fired at the suspect inside the yellow Corvette by the 2 officers that stopped the vehicle, but some reports that I'm reading below the video say that he was possibly eating a hot dog while driving, spilled ketchup on his shirt, then decided to take a nap. I don't know. We'll find out, though, when the official report is released.
Okay. Looks like he
dropped
just sort
to
of
the ground.
collapsed to the ground there, dropped to the
Again,
ground.
viewer discretion is advised.
Okay, everybody, I'm going to come on camera here just to, give you guys a little bit of a break from that.
Next up is our dumbass of the week. A man interviewing to be a police officer in South Charleston, West Virginia, openly admitted to sexually assaulting a woman who had passed out. He was at an interview to become a police officer. They started asking him some questions. I don't know how it was brought up, but he ended up telling the police that, yes, I videotaped myself sexually assaulting a woman who had passed out after drinking. So, naturally, he was arrested and charged with second-degree felony sexual assault.